Welcome everyone to our video for today. We're the DimitrovBoelee piano duo. My name is Dimitrov.
My name is DimitrovBoelee.
And in today's video, we're going to talk about a subject that's connected to consistency. And more specifically, it's going to be, do you actually improve and do you see improvement every single day when you're being consistent? If you've watched our videos, perhaps you already know that we are very big believers in consistency. We think and we believe strongly that when you're consistent, that's actually the only way for you to improve and become good at something, whatever that is. In this case, piano playing.
So progress doesn't actually happen in a straight line. You can't just draw a graph, see how many days you've practiced and expect the line to go perfectly in a curve. Some days or weeks you'll progress more and some days or weeks you'll progress less. And part of that is just because progress doesn't happen so mathematically perfectly. But there's also another factor in play here. Your perception of progress is also not always right. So the way you perceive your progress might not actually be representing your actual progress as well.
It's good that you mentioned this because sometimes I have students that come to me and they are very upset actually with, they think they're not progressing, and I see it differently, not because I'm taking their money, right? I'm seeing it differently because it is a fact. I see this person once in a week or once in 2 weeks and I can see that there is progress and they don't. So this is a very good point that you just made.
For myself personally, I actually experienced the last maybe 6 months or so no progress at all. Now that's not very realistic, of course there has been progress, but it's not been perceptible to me. And then maybe last week or so I suddenly felt a huge burst of progress. And that means that it was just building slowly, very slowly until I could finally perceive it.
Now to me, what was also very important and interesting to mention in this video is to answer the question, when do you actually experience progress every day? Because that also helps you understand what we are talking about today. And so the moments, you have to remember that the moments that you're going to experience progress every single day is when you're an absolute beginner. So you have no idea what you're doing. And so everything you learn is going to be a progress. Right? From the keys on the piano, what is C, what is D, what are the notes on the staff, stuff like that. Every day is going to be a progress and you're going to feel thrilled about it. The other time when you're going to experience progress every single day is when you already have some skills. Doesn't matter if you are a professional or intermediate, whatever, you have some skills. You've abandoned the piano for some time and then you go back to it, right? After I don't know, whatever period of time, you haven't practiced at all, and then you go back. You are going to experience every single day progress, already even from the first day. So those are the two times that I've experienced, that I've seen, that you can progress and you can expect, and your perception of progress is actually wonderful, like every time the same, every day the same. Wow, I'm developing, I rock. And the terrible thing about consistency is that the more consistent you are, the less you are going to actually notice your progress. So that's our video, right? You can't possibly experience progress every single day when you are really consistent. Now, why is that? Well, it's something very obvious to me. When you're consistent with something, first of all, things become more difficult over time. In the beginning, you learn basic things, everything feels like a game, etc. It's easy peasy. But then after some time, you're going to start hitting walls. You have to overcome obstacles, challenges. You demand also more from yourself. You have more skills. You are going to start hearing better. So you are going to start demanding more from your fingers, from your hands. You're going to start demanding more from your ears, what you want to hear. So I mean, this can be endless what's going to happen in your head. Just because you're becoming better, you're going to want more and more. Your demand and your awareness of what you're doing changes as well. You want more from yourself, but that's not possible with the same pace. And so you're going to start hearing and thinking that you sound bad. One day good, the other day it's just going to be a mess sometimes. And that's why the more consistent you are, the more you realize that it can't be an everyday pleasurable progress in your eyes and ears. Did we actually talk to them about a video about the romantic idea?
A little bit, I think in
Did we
2
mention
weeks
that?
ago we were talking about fun and discipline, talking a little bit about how we romanticize the image of being a pianist and
This is
forgetting
connected.
it's
This
often
is really
connected,
connected
yeah.
to that.
Mhm.
It's just this romantic idea of you seeing somebody. I'm not going to get into it, but just the romantic idea of seeing somebody good and then thinking that it's going to be all pink elephants. It's just I don't. It doesn't work that way. Only people who are consistent know what I'm talking about and know that the more consistent you are, the more tough it gets. But the progress overall is upwards. Of
Well,
course.
I think that's the next interesting question, right? Because what we're talking about now makes you maybe wonder, like, well, I'm not going to practice consistently because that kind of sounds like it will suck. But that's not true, because you can only get to this point, you can only get better and better by practicing consistently. And you can only experience the great pleasures, I think, of piano playing, the best part of piano playing, if you are consistent. So
Consistency, you develop every single day. You just don't hear it. You hear different things, like we already explained. And the perception, what Elvira mentioned, is also very important. So remember, it just comes with its challenges.
So even though progress doesn't happen in a straight line, and the further you are, the slower paced your progress will be, and even though your perception of your progress is often not correct when you're consistent, still consistency is what you need in order to get to your goals and to get the most fun out of piano playing.
And I want to finish the video by saying that I've never seen a person give up piano in the very beginning, when they're beginners, and when they stopped for quite some time and just started. They're always filled with enthusiasm and they see the progress, and they never give up then. They always give up once they start being consistent for a period of time. So that's one. And the second thing that's connected to that is that with consistency, your approach needs to change. And that's the challenging thing, because your perception of everything you're doing is different. You hear in a different way, you want different things. You constantly need to change, right, in order to improve. You constantly need to adapt your practice to new challenges, to new skills. You constantly need to look for different and better approaches in order for your practice system to improve. So it's a lot of variables, it's a lot of things are happening, and the people who give up are the ones that feel stuck, and they don't feel that they can push through that and figure out a way in order to accommodate everything that's happening in their practice. After being consistent for some time, it comes down to actually pushing, really being stubborn, really looking for different ways to accomplish something, all the time wanting to improve. So it becomes actually a test of, let's say, it becomes a test of character. It shapes you as a character, as a person, the further you are with you being consistent with anything.
Don't forget to like the video when you liked it. Don't forget to also leave a comment. Let us know what you think. Let us know what your thoughts are in this subject or any other subject you want to talk about. We're also on Instagram if you want to follow us there, and on TikTok and Facebook.
Yeah, I guess that's it.
That's it.
For us, recording this video was a great pleasure. Thank you so much for being here and watching, and we'll see you next time.